No. No. This is my belt.
Cannot talk now.
No. No. Stop.
Collaborate and listen.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, BalorFan85, guy without a YouTube handle.
That vapes a lot and is our human fog machine.
Anyway, we're coming back at you with another Fandu belt. Now, I can only speak for myself, but we're pretty much like-minded when it comes to belts. I'm pretty sure he won't agree too much, if at all. This is one of the belts that we've really been looking forward to. It's a big man belt. I mean, we're not small by any stretch of the imagination. If you've seen any of our other videos, we hold Fandu in the highest regard. Fandu doesn't pay us to say this. We're not sponsored by anybody. We're just really, really big fans of their work, their quality, their craftsmanship. And when we get into this belt, I'm not going to say more than the other belts, but it's definitely got a lot going on that they could easily drop the ball on. There's a lot of corners that could be skipped on it. Just because of the stuff that's on the belt. But when you get to see it, no corners were cut. There were no shortcuts taken. It's a great belt. It's a comfortable belt. I can go on and on. We do have one flaw, but it's not on Fandu. It's really not. It's on ourselves more than anything. But do you have any opening remarks?
No, you're right. This is one that I think our hopes were a little bit higher than the reality, and that's not a bad thing.
It's really just for our own amusement, being bigger guys. Why we were, I'm not going to say disappointed, but we definitely set our hopes a little higher on one aspect of the belt, just one. And like I said, it's not really that big of a deal. Spoiler alert, big of a deal.
Spoiler, we're still going to recommend you buy this belt.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Well, now, without further ado, we're going to go and get right into it.
Let me take a second.
Today's belt review is going to be the Fandu Andre, also known as the Fondandre belt. Now, let's go ahead and get right into this.
WB Fan Talk Show, listen to you. You said get an Andre. I think he was going to get one anyways, but we got one, and we're going to review it right now.
By the way, we appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Keep clicking that like, share, subscribe button. Keep watching. I know our videos tend to get a little lengthy, but we just love doing this so much that we get sidetracked on. We'll start talking about the main plate, then we'll start talking about the side plates, we'll start talking about the gold tip, start talking about the strap, lead to another strap, lead to another belt, lead to another company, lead to why the sky is blue and the grass is green. Anyway.
And again, we're not high.
No, absolutely not. I can't.
Squirrel.
I can't get high. I'm a cop, so yeah. Anyway, starting right here, I'm a really big fan of the gold tips, the buckles. It's like I said in the other videos, it's like the period at the end of a sentence. It lets you know where the belt stops and starts.
Me every time.
Yeah. I'm always thinking something else. But anyway, I love the fact that it's got the big gold tip on the end of it. Going from there, you have your female snaps, really well done. All the way through the strap, seated very nicely.
And again, look how flexible the strap is.
Yeah. There's no tooling, there's no design other than the stitching, which is fine.
That's one thing I like Fandu.
Yeah.
Eventually to branch out with, start doing some tooling on the snap boxes. But then again, most of the titles that they've done, they didn't really require tooling anyways. But I wouldn't mind seeing that eventually.
Now, going into the side plates, if you remember our review of the Dome Globe NWA, one of the biggest things we hit on were it being a world title and it had the flags to represent the different countries. That's the same thing going on here. You have even more flags, more countries. It really is represented as the world's championship, okay? I'm not going to sit here and try to say all these flags because I'm going to mess one of them up and you guys are going to eat me alive in the comments. But
or just, anyway, again, claim you're just high as I'll get out.
Yeah, anyway. So the side plates are done really nice. There's this border on each one of them that's really deep
it's
etching.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah, really, really fine, pronounced. I mean, it's just really good. You have a really, not a small, but smaller than this one. As it get, I like that as well. As it gets to the center plate, the side plates start to get bigger and ease you into the size of it. So the flags are done very, very nicely. Same thing here. The border, the trim, the flags, all done extremely well. keep in mind this is an imperfect championship. I say that just so you can see how high in regard Fandu holds their work. This is an imperfect belt, and yeah, it still looks amazing.
And this was what, $189?
Something like that. Yeah, it wasn't even $200. I think after shipping, I might have broke $200. But anyway, going into the actual main plate, you have your inlaid black paint with the stars, the lettering. The way they curve around and meet right here at a really fine point, it'd be really easy to mess something like that up, and they didn't. The color in the globe, once again, another thing so easily messed up, but it's not.
And again, just like the
going into the Eagles,
Raw, I keep saying Raw, the WWF Tag Team, Classic Tag Team.
Each feather is engraved. It's not just a basic Eagle stamp. There's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into this, and we're not really using a high quality camera, so you can still see it, but you definitely see it in person a lot better. It really will take your breath away. It's extremely well done. The lettering is very fine, very pronounced. The letters don't run into each other. Excuse me. You can clearly see where the letters stop and start. It's not just a big continuing running word. Going into the bottom lettering, it's a little bigger. It just really has that classic look to it. And like I said, I'm not taking anything away from the modern belts. I own a lot of them. But these classic style belts, the ones that wrestling was built on, really stand out to me. I'm a huge fan of the older classics. If I meet somebody and they say, my favorite belt on the market is the WWE Championship or the Universal title, I really want to punch a baby. It upsets me that much because in my mind, you were spitting on this when you were spitting on the classic tag we did, because these are so much more aesthetically pleasing, in my opinion. If you like them, great. It's your collection. Do what you will with it. And I know he's the same way. We love the classics.
Now, this belt was made for a giant. The plate, I can't get over, regardless, and we'll talk about our flaws in a minute. This center plate is massive. I mean, it's huge.
It will go from your ding-ding to your belly button.
A little bit over your belly button, actually. I mean, it's a massive, I think this may be the biggest center plate out of all of our belts.
Yeah.
And again, it's Fandu, so you're going to get...
Look how thick that plate is. Look how thick the side plates are. And that's just the etching on the outside that I was talking about. When you hold it like that, you can see the inlay of the actual plate, where these are actually rows up past it. The actual plate itself might be your 4mm, but when you put these on here, it's closer to 6 or 7mm. It's just a really, really, really well done belt with well done plates.
And again, it's Fandu, so guess what you get? Look at that curve. Look at that curve. I mean, I'm a curve guy. I'm not even going to lie. Curve guy. Some people are plate guys. I'm a curve guy. Got to have that curve.
Absolutely.
And I think you're a curve guy too. You got to have that curve. It's got to feel comfortable around your midsection.
There's one thing on this belt, going back to how he said it has the flags representing different countries, let you know it's the World's Championship. A lot of people don't realize it, or they don't understand what it is. These right down here, I love the compass rose down here. I absolutely love them. It tells the story. You navigate around the world because it is the World's Championship. I mean, it's just little things like that really set this belt apart. You have more flags on the side. Once again, big, small, building its way up to the massive center plate. You have your male snaps. Once again, very well put in. Real flimsy, comfortable strap, deep curve. Just an overall aesthetically pleasing belt.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I think this was the first Smoking Skull, in that this was the first customized championship for a wrestler, if I'm not mistaken. This was, and I think had Andre actually won the title and held the title, I mean, he did win the Winged Eagle. I think, was it Hogan 85 or the Winged Eagle? I can't remember. But had he won this, I think this belt would have only been for him. I think this belt fits him. I don't know if I could see Hogan wearing... To me, this is like the Undisputed V2, where you had your first Undisputed belt was kind of small. Mm-hmm. It was a good title, and then it just got huge.
Yeah.
and then it was made for around some of the smaller.
And that's when we really started to see championship belts take on this ungodly size.
Mm-hmm. This was the first just really customized belt for a deal, and I would have loved to have seen Andre actually hold this and had a lengthy title run, but I don't think I would have preferred to see it on anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is they call it the Andre for a reason. And replica wise, this is just an amazing belt. Now, do you want to get into the flaw? And
like I said earlier,
I wouldn't really call it a flaw.
It's not so much a flaw as it was we hyped ourselves up. We saw a lot of reviews on this belt. We've seen a lot of people getting them, and they talked about how massive it is. They talked about how huge it is. It is a big belt, but it's not as big as we thought. For example, I can wear the Fandu Big Gold belt and snap it comfortably with about 4 or 5 snaps. I cannot snap this around my waist. It is a bigger belt, but it is not as big as everybody made it out to be.
And I'm going to say the same thing. I've always been a big guy. I can wear the spinner. I can wear the Undisputed V2. I can wear the Big Gold. For this to be a Giants belt, I can't wear it. And, that's on me. I should lose the weight. But I was expecting, when you say a Giants belt, I expected this belt to probably be, another 6 inches longer. Maybe
I expected to be able to wear it.
Yeah, and also when you stop to think about it, this actually isn't the heaviest Fandu belt for it to be
not by
a massive belt. I mean, it's actually, I'd say 6 pounds.
Now that I think about it, this is supposed to be the giant belt, but it's the only Fandu belt that doesn't fit me. Literally the only one.
Oh, we just got a photo bomb.
Yeah, she's sneaking in there.
I was trying not to.
Anyway,
we're gonna keep.
I can wear the tag belt. I can wear the back one. I can wear.
I can wear the back one too.
I can wear the Big Gold. This one does not snap. Look at her again. There she is.
Run. It's like a Bigfoot side.
But that's really the only. I'm not gonna say gripe. I'm not gonna say complain. I was let down.
It's on us.
I was let down. And it's not let down on Fandu because, once again, the quality and the craftsmanship is undeniable. By far, my favorite place to buy a belt is a Fandu. If another Fandu belt's coming out, it shoots to the top of my wanted list. I have a version of every Fandu belt that's on the market right now, and I can assure you, if another one comes out, I would love to see them play around with the Winged Eagle or the NXT North American.
In the search bar, if you type in Winged Eagle, it actually does pop up. Could they be trying something? We'll see.
Let's hope so.
We'll see. I'd really love to see what I'd love to see their take on any belt.
It's just anytime you do a Fandu belt, whether it's a modern title or an older title, it brings a classic look to a modern belt or a classic look to a classic belt. They're the most comfortable belts to wear.
And I can see Fandu quality in a ring. I could see it being an actual ring-worn title.
We've seen WWE wrestlers wear Fandu belts, not out on TV, but taking their Twitter pictures in the locker room and stuff like that.
And it looked good on them.
It really did.
It did.
It really did.
I hope they bring it back. We're talking about the Revival, by the way. For those of you who haven't seen it, go to their Twitter page.
But
one of theirs.
Once again, I cannot get over that deep curve. Let's go and lay this down real quick, just so you guys can look. It just curves so nicely. And like I said in the previous videos, I'm just shy of 300 pounds. And, it's hard for me to find a belt that's comfortable. I have not found a Fandu belt that isn't comfortable.
And with WWE Shop, you're always hit or miss.
Not taking anything away from their belts.
No. Sometimes you get quality, but you don't get...
Fandu gets a lot of flack about their belts for the simple fact the plates are so heavy, the strap is so flimsy that it doesn't stand up on its own. Yeah, it's not so much a bad thing. It is a little bit of a change because you can't just set it on the shelf and look at it. There is some preparation that has to go into it and able to get it to stand up. However, me personally, I love the Fandu straps.
I can't say enough good things about it. Again, one of our Fandus, we sit on an easel, and the strap is kind of molded to that easel now. That's a small gripe.
And it'll relax itself in time. It's not going to rip the strap. It's not going to bust the strap. It's not going to permanently warp the strap. But with the sheer weight of the plate And if you have a Fandu belt, you understand what we're talking about. But it will start to, it'll get towards like this, like where it sits on the easel or where it sits wherever you have it. Unless you're laying it flat, it is going to take shape of whatever it's sitting on. But when you take it off and you let it lay there for a minute, lay flat, before the end of the day, it'll be right back to the way it was. Like, for example, in one of the next videos coming up, I've had this one sitting on top of another Fandu belt, and you'll see where the leather has kind of overlapped a little bit. It's not a flaw in the belt. It's not a tear in the belt. I believe if Fandu actually had a ripped belt, they wouldn't even sell it as an imperfect. Like I said, this is an imperfect championship, and we know the imperfection. It's just a little oxidation on the plate, little tiny bubbles, and it's not even throughout the plate. It might be in one spot or two, but that's because Fandu holds their belts in such high regard. It's such a high standard. They're doing it right. I cannot sit here and compliment Fandu enough. And just for the record, I say this in every video. Did you get a check from Fandu this month?
No.
Me either.
I'd love to get a belt from Fandu.
Hey, maybe. I mean, it's holiday season.
You want these two guys right here to be the face of the belt reviews for that? You guys.
But anyway,
I was going to say something.
We're not sponsored by anybody. We're not doing this for money or anything like that. We just love talking about belts.
For anybody who's like, oxidation on plates, I don't want to get that. That's way too bad. Here's the deal. If you buy a replica belt and it sits for any period of time, whether it's in your house, whether it's outside, whatever, eventually, nothing's made to last forever. Eventually, you're going to start seeing a little bit of oxidation. You're going to start seeing just small blemishes. Hey, there I am. Anyways, you're going to start seeing small blemishes. I've got a few belts that've got a couple of these spots. I paid full price for it. Fandu already sees these. They cut half the value of it right there.
More than half.
Sell it. Yeah.
Like, I believe that the very first Fandu belt I got was an imperfect belt. It was the imperfect big gold. And what's that normally retail for? Right at $300 or $400? Yeah, about $400. And I picked mine up for $175.
Yeah, and I paid $300 for mine full price. But then, I took advantage.
He's got such a beautiful antique finish on his.
It's beautiful.
His blue stone. If you haven't seen our Fandu versus Big Gold comparison video,
go back. A lot of people have seen that. That's our most highly viewed video.
But go back and look at the antique finish on it. The reason I got the one I did, and see, this is what I'm talking about. We start off branching into other stuff, but the reason I got the Big Gold the way I did, gold with red stones, is if I ever get it signed, it'll be signed by Edge. It's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I love the man to death. I can't wait to meet him and get him to sign it. But if I didn't have that desire to have Edge do it and be the belt Edge had, his antique finish with the blue stones.
I really want to get the gunmetal too.
Oh,
I don't know if they still do it. I think they brought it back for a little bit. The gunmetal Big Gold.
His Fandu Big Gold belt makes me happy in strange places.
I'm glad I can do that for you.
Yeah,
I'm always here for you. Anyway, so this is the Fondre. This is the Fandu Andre belt.
And just to show you what we were talking about with the oxidation, right here under this eagle, see the little bubbles, just ever so tiny. Like I said, it's not even throughout the entire plate. It's that one little spot right there. And there might be 2 or 3 bubbles in it. But that's the oxidation. That's the imperfection. And that's why instead of paying over $500 for this belt, it goes for like $200.
Mm-hmm. So all in all, we recommend this belt. I don't think there are many belts that we won't recommend buying. If we buy it, we're going to tell you 100% whether we regret buying it, whether we wanted to buy it. I'm glad he got this belt because I've been on the fence about the Andre, and it may end up in my collection.
There's one thing I wanted to ask you about, and I don't know if you noticed it or not. If you're like me, of course you did. But anyway, my Big Gold from WWE Shop is 2mm plate. Okay, you really can't tell where the strap is thicker than the plate, but
basically paper thin.
Look right here. Okay, see the name of the country below the flag? See how far the name stands up?
The plate.
The name, the labeling,
your Big Gold plate
stands up higher than your WWE Shop Big Gold belt. That's just a testament to how deep these plates go and how these plates are going to stand the test of time. Like I said, personally, I love the strap. I wouldn't change the strap. But if anything on this belt breaks down, it will be the strap.
Mm-hmm.
These plates, they're going to be here 10 years from now. They're going to be here 15 years from now. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been collecting that long, but I don't see as long as you treat your belts right, I don't see any reason why this belt wouldn't last a long, long time.
Oh, I don't see a reason either.
I've got a 5-year-old son, a 3-year-old son, I've got a 2-year-old son, and I've got a 9-month-old son. Yeah, 4 boys. And they're already wondering who's getting what belt when I kick the big one.
They're going to have to fight me first because I think we've developed a friendship enough to where, come on.
My 5-year-old will bite you.
I'm sure he will. I think I've been kicked a couple times by him and it doesn't feel good.
Anyway, we can't really talk enough about Fandu's quality. We've been trying to keep videos to a minimum of about 10 to 15 minutes, and we haven't had one less than 18 minutes yet.
Yeah, so far.
I mean, Fandu really just gives us such great quality that we can go on and on and on. But in the essence of saving time, we've got a couple more videos to get through. I'm done.
I'm done. I recommend for us, whether you want the imperfect or the main replica, it doesn't matter, I don't think, because you're not going to get. I have yet to see on any imperfect belt, and we're in a bunch of belt groups. I've yet to see an imperfection that would make me just stay up at night going. I mean, I ended up breaking down. You showed your backland. We're going to do a video. I've got a backland now, or no, I think it is mine. You know what? It's mine. My backland. I've got a backland now. And it's an imperfect.
You mean your wife has a backland?
No.
Yes.
My name is Wayne. I have a problem. My wife just takes everything. But it's an imperfect belt. I think I bought it for $199. And I've still yet to find the flaw on it. I mean, it's unbelievable. And when we do our video, I think we're going to look for it. I want to find the flaw.
We'll compare apples to apples side by side because and this isn't me bragging or anything like that, but there wasn't an imperfect set when I got mine and I really wanted it. So I ended up getting the actual perfect backland, and he just happened to catch one that was on sale and he got that. But I'm telling you, when we do that video, good luck trying to spot the difference.
Mm-hmm. I've had it now for 3 months, 4 months. I've fine-tooth combed that thing. I can't figure it out.
But in the essence of saving time, we're going to go ahead and get off here, get on another belt video. We could literally go on for the rest of the day about this one and really any belt. But we've got a couple more to get through. We look forward to seeing you guys back. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe. Keep watching the videos. We're going to keep putting them out. If there's any belts you want to see reviewed, let us know. If we have them, we'll do it. We're more than happy to do it. If we don't have it, chances are we're going to get it.
And we're going to try to start doing this more frequently. We went the last several months. I mean, life happens. We want to start doing more, and hopefully this is the start of that. So, again, like he said, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the videos to come. We'll catch you guys down the road.
See you guys.